Hello, hello, welcome back to Gold Rush. I'm Hitman82, and I have a broken drill bit. So, I said last episode I was going to get the whole claim all scouted out here. But first, this is probably going to be my last broken drill bit for a while, so I wanted to show how to replace that, and then I'll skip ahead to finishing the rest of the claim. So you use your screw gun. Last time I did this, it was a little more difficult because the drill, the way it was, the drill was way up, and I had a heck of a time trying to get the screw gun to get to those screws. So there we go. And we'll throw that in the back. Whoa, whoa, what's going on there? I said throw it in the back, not over the back. Back in there, broken bit. I don't want to run over you. It's hard on wheels. Alright, well, I'll put this back on here. What are you sliding around for? Settle down, drill. And then we put this back on, and that is how you fix the drill on the drill bit on the mining drill. There we go. Okay, I shall pause here until I've completed the rest of the claim, and then we'll pick it up again and we'll have a looky and see what we got. We're working on the last few holes here. I'm gonna do, I think, 3 more here, so figured you'd want to see the last of it. And then we'll have a look at the map. Now, it still bugs me that we went and made all these plans for purchasing the parcel and then went and changed the plans, but oh well. I guess it's probably only me that's going on about that, but if you're disgruntled about that, let me know. It's okay to say so. Then I'll ban you. No, just kidding. Alright, so we got 2 to go. We'll look at the map and we'll see. I don't actually know. I haven't looked at the map in a while, so I don't know how this is looking. I hope we can find some better gold spots than those light colored orange ones that were over yonder. But maybe on this claim you don't. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe on hard mode you don't. I don't know. I'm a newbie too, you know. Ooh, brakes. Okay, and this is the last one. It's not in the center. Oh well. Okay, there is the last of the drilling, I think. So, assuming it is, I could park this. I can put it in storage, and when I go to get, the, what's it called, the dump truck, and the excavator. So I would probably then store this and the wheel loader, and then get the dump truck and the excavator. So I hopefully won't have to pay for any more equipment right away. Alright, I'm gonna drive this back. Actually, the first thing I'll do is look at the map in case I don't want to drive this back and park it, and then have to drive all the way out here again. So let's park here, and let us look at the map and see what we have. Okay, so here is the wash plant up here in the top right. Let's see, I'll use this mouse. So there we are. This is kind of disappointing, actually. This is all the light color, about medium, and when you look at the legend here, it's all medium. How much is in there? 300 ounces, 300 ounces. Just kind of randomly clicking around just to see. Another 300. Well, I suppose what we can do is just go around and start hitting all these orange parts. And I'll probably skip these like this. Now that's 160 ounces right there. Yeah, still though, I mean, why would I take that when I can take one that's over 200 or 300 ounces? This is pretty good yield right in here. So I think what we'll do is we'll clean this out since I'm running the loader right now. And then this part, well, we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to afford the dump truck and the excavator by the time I have to do that. But it looks like it could probably just only 100 ounces there. I was just looking at cutting in this way with the loader just coming in. What about all this stuff? 115, 180. This is all bleh. Then you get over here and this is the good stuff. So I can drive up around this way. if you can see my mouse, I hope you can, up along that top line. I've left the dirt so we can drive along there. 147, well, 160, 170. You know what? It looks like if I go in from the top, so we come in with the wheel loader, then come in this way, that's still 160 ounces there, 170 ounces there. So I can just basically, this one's the same all throughout the depth. This one, that's not too bad. So we could actually come around here, make the turn, and then dig a slope down into this and make a pit here with the wheel loader. But we'll get rid of all this first. Right, so we can go in and we'll clip all this stuff. Let's see, 87 ounces, but it's only 2 meters at depth, so not a lot of dirt there. You still get 87 ounces out of it. Oh, I mentioned last episode the drill number. Remember I said it starts at 0 and it counts up? That is not correct. The drill number is based per square. So let's see if we zoom in here a bit. And these spots that show 2, and I think this might be, maybe I was sitting on a slope and I drill across a couple holes, like where they measure the holes or something. I don't know. I didn't drill 2 holes, so I don't know why it's doing this. But when you click on the C, it says drill number 1. So there's 0 and then 1. There's quite a difference in the time, though. How bizarre. Maybe I just went back and drilled them a second time? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, the point being, oh, wait a minute. What was that? 115. What's that look like? Oh, it's just got that one little rich spot. Anyway, let's have a look up here. There's lots. Oh, wow, 365. Ooh, that's a nice one. Also, is that. Okay, well, we're going to be digging in here. So basically, is there anything in there? Not really, but it's not much dirt either. Wow, 50 ounces, and it's only 1.7 meters. Okay, so we're going to clean this out first. This looks pretty good down here. Well, look at that, 159. Why is it orange? That makes no sense. It's only 159 ounces. You go over, say, 189 ounces there, but it's not orange. Who knows? I don't know exactly how this works. Anyway, we're going to take all that out of there with the loader. That's the plan now. All right, so let's get to that. Fire it up. Away we go. So, how do I find out where to dig? Here's how I shall do it. Look on the map and go to, what's it, tile 121? Right, and then we'll toggle it. So 121 should now be lit up. There we go. So now I know where to dig. So I could actually test the little bits along here, but I'm not going to. So let's try 96. All right, so we're gonna kind of dig in there, and we'll leave that little bit just. Now the only problem with doing this, if I dig this out now, would be how do I get to the wash plant when I dig? I was saying about the further down there and digging in over by the area over there by that tower. I'd have to drive because once this is dug out of here, I guess if I take that trailer out of there and this light, I'd be able to drive in and around there, like up on this edge. I'm just planning ahead because I don't want to paint myself into a corner. Speaking of which, I saw a video on the net the other day. This guy, he painted in a garage or something, and painted himself basically into a corner. So there was a foundation wall, and he was kind of up about 2 feet off the floor, walking on this foundation wall, clinging to the wall. Then he went to jump out the doorway, and so he made the jump, stumbled, and hit his head on the back of his van and broke the taillight. I was like, oh, just walked over the paint, I guess. Anyway, it struck me as funny because it's just, thanks Murphy. That's what Murphy does. Now this, this is all going to be digging sideways on the slope. Well, I'll give it a try and see how it goes. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Let's see. I want to take from the top first, so I don't want to wreck any of this dirt, do I? Has that got it all yet? Yeah, there we go. Starting to smear. And up the hill we go. Come on, Gutless Wonder, you can make it up there. Yeah, I don't have a full bucket. Oh well. Oh well. Just taking the first little bit, so I gotta be careful with it. So we're back to digging again. Oh, I forgot to order more fuel. Yikes. I guess I'll do that right now, actually. Because I forgot last time. Remember I said I'd come back and I'd order fuel last episode? Well, then I forgot, didn't I? Yes, I did. So let's go over here and order it. Ooh, down to 24%. So we want to get... I don't know, say 40% or something? I don't know. There's that. I'm just assuming that'll be half of what's left, which would be half of 75, which is going to be around what, 30 something, 38. That'll be 3,800 gallons. Oh, it says right there, 1,000 gallons. Okay. Well, you know what? This is going to be enough. So that's $16,000. Yikes. Okay, it won't be midnight, but thanks for lying. All right. It'll be 1 a.m. Wonder why they changed it. Oh, you know what? Every time I hit my button now, it's gonna jump to this. How do I add that to storage? Do I have to go back to that dealership? Brr, brr. Means I have to step through both. Whoops. Let's turn this back on. I'm gonna fill the wash plant a little bit before I fire it up to save a little bit of fuel. The mobile tank, wherever it is, oh, there it is over there, that has it's about half full as well, so I'm not really super low on fuel. It's not like I'm going to run out today. It just bugs me that I got it that low before I noticed it. Or I remembered, especially when I said I was going to do it, and then I forgot. Are we loading that? Yep. How would I do this in real life? Well, it's hard to use actual real life, how you do this in real life, just because it's a game and it doesn't follow the physics exactly like real life. As you can tell by the loader rocketing in the sky if I drive over the wrong spots and that sort of thing, but oh well. Come on, go. It's kind of spluttering a bit. Not getting low on fuel. Don't know why I was doing that. And also, I think if I was dumping this, I'd dump it on the Grizzly, not over here. So we should be, realistically, when I say the Grizzly, it's that heavy sloped piece of metal there. It's called a Grizzly. At least that's what I've always called it. I made one myself. For when I bought this property I'm on in real life, for sifting the big rocks out. So I should be dumping it right like this. But oh well. I'll try it, but I think... I don't know if I was seeing a difference in the gold yield based on where I dumped it. I don't know. Just superstition by now, because I don't know how any of this really works, because that hasn't been published that I've found. It's all just, even the devs just trying to figure it out by playing it, so that was kind of funny. Or not devs, mods, I mean. The moderators on the Discord. Like Mud. Mud knows this stuff. Could just ask him. Oh, that reminds me. I need to do some math. Remember initially when I got the wash plant and I was writing down how much I got from every section of the wash plant, like from the hog pan and the jigs and that sort of thing. Well, that will be, because I recorded, let's see, I got the numbers right in front of me, 3 cleanouts. I should be able to punch those in on the web to get the ratios for each of those. It's like a pie chart or something. And then anytime I add, oh, come on, get going, like the Glacier Creek or Shaker or anything like that. Oh, sneeze. Always sneezes. Anyway, if I add anything like that, I'll be able to see, you know, what how it affects the ratio. So no matter if I get a 10-ounce clean out or 80-ounce clean out, the ratio should remain the same, I would think. Don't see why that wouldn't. So it'd be interesting. Just then I can kind of start tracking to see what kind of ratios. The only problem with that is, yeah, I get all that figured out, and then the next patch comes out, and they mess with the balance, and then all those numbers are useless. So, yeah, the joys of playing a game that's still in development, right? That's okay, I don't mind. I'm enjoying it. It's starting to get a bit on the tedious side. I guess I probably already said that, but that's like the definition of grind, isn't it? It's kind of hard to progress in this series when we're just puttering along and it doesn't really feel like we're progressing that quickly. Maybe it does to you in the videos. For me, spending days and days and days doing the same kind of thing, it's grindy, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. See, now that would have put me in the loader. Now it put me over there. I think. Let's run over to I want to run over to the tent because I want to check something over there. Run, run, run. Go over and check the tablet. Let's see what it costs to actually be able to access stuff from here. Alright, so transport, locked. How much does that cost? I could spend 5,000 and then to be able to move my machines, like I could move the drill back to storage from here instead of going into town to do it. Oh yeah, see, it says unavailable in hard mode for the workers. $20,000 to be able to buy machines from here. And then you get to pay more money on top. I don't know about the machines, but the equipment store you have to pay extra to have it delivered, and that's kind of a pain. I don't even know what this notification is. Oh, breakdowns and repairs. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Well, do I want to spend $5,000 just to be able to, to be able to send that back without going into town? Not when I only have $11,000. No, not really. Whoa, what's going on, FPS? What are you doing there? What's that all about? Why's my FPS dying? Oh, weird. Weird. Come back, FPS. Don't you die on me. Boy, this is going to be hard to dig a ramp in here when it's sloped like this. Oh well. I could clear all that stuff out of there and then come in from right by where that mobile thingy doofer is, the mobile fuel tank. But I want to keep that somewhat pristine so I can come up around the corner this way instead of having to go all the way around the other side of the wash plant when I get further along there. I mean, what I could do is go and do that other section first and then come back to this, but such a long drive per scoop. See if you look right above the bucket, see that hump in the dirt over there? Yeah, that dark brown dirt. I'd have to drive all the way over there each time for a scoop going around the edge. So yeah, let's not do that. Oh, we really need that dump truck and excavator. Oh well. We'll get there eventually. I got all that DLC, the Frankenstein DLC. I haven't even used it yet, even off screen. Why don't we try going forward up this hill? Because it sure goes slowly up backwards. Got any more power going forwards? Oh, it's got less that way too. Wow, this thing must be old and abused to be this slow going up this hill. This thing should have tons of power when you're not lifting. Of course, that is a pretty steep hill, but still. Oh yeah, I guess my backhoe would labor up that, but it's probably a whole lot less horsepower than this thing's got. I think. I don't know. Those of you who know a little more about loaders, how would the drive system be on this? Is it hydraulic drive, or is it like a shaft drive from the engine? I wonder. I don't know. My backhoe is hydraulic drive. So my hydraulic system goes down, I can't even drive anywhere. That's okay. What's the point of driving if you can't use the implements, right? The backhoe or the loader. Speaking of which, I need to rip my loader, one of my cylinders, apart and repack that. I've got the parts and have for like a year and I haven't gotten to it yet. So I just don't use the loader part. I do everything with the hoe on the back of the backhoe. That's that backhoe you see me use if you've watched any of the Survive and Thrive logging episodes, that sort of thing. You'll see my John Deere backhoe. It's an old beast, but it does the job. I was toying with the idea of putting a fixed thumb on the hoe so that I'd be able to pick up logs much more easily instead of having to chain them, which is what I'm doing now. I've got a chain across the back of the hoe and then just put a chain around the log and pick it up that way. But it means having to either get out or have a swamper chaining the logs on there. So fortunately I got swamper, so that works. Swamper's the person that gets out and gets all dirty and muddy and has to walk around in the woods while you're sitting up there in the cab nice and warm and dry. Swamper, chain that log on there. So if we were digging this part with an excavator, we'd have to be careful because hitting this ground on the bottom here would actually wear the teeth more quickly. I haven't used it enough to actually be able to prove that one way or another. We've got teeth sitting there, just waiting for an excavator to put them on. Well, one thing about you taking all, oh, come on, get going here. Up the hill, go, gutless wonder. What was I saying? Oh, one thing about going and digging these little spots, trying to do that with the loader. Yeesh. I mean, I could use tier 2 for that. Just get a wash plant and go do it that way. But we're wasting some gold. A lot of gold, like half the gold yield would be wasted, but at least then I wouldn't be driving all the way across the yard to do it. Because that burns a lot of fuel. You lose a lot of money to fuel. Let's see here, keep shaving that. I know this looks silly to mine this way, but I didn't design the game. This is just the way you gotta do it if you don't want to lose gold, as far as I know. I keep saying as far as I know because I honestly don't know. None of this is really documented, so it's like undiscovered country. Up the hill again. So I ended up making a digasode. Hope you don't mind. You think you're seeing a lot of digging? Oh, I sure hope I put everything together on the way. Yeah, all right. Just make sure I put buckets under those jigs. I should have checked that before I turned it on. I generally, when I process, do a clean out, I make sure before I even start running the gold through the wavetable that I've replaced buckets and such, so that, and the grates, so that I won't run into that problem. But it's pretty easy to do. Die FPS. What is going on with that? It's all over the place. I wonder. It's probably because I'm recording. That would make a difference. And also apparently more machines. That's why you notice the slots, the upgrade slots you have to buy for machines. I suspect that was to combat lag problems. That's one of the things I read. Now, I don't actually know that for a fact, but if you have fewer machines, your frames per second is better. Which makes sense. I mean, these machines are pretty well detailed, which means the polys are pretty high on it. The little, well, if you don't know what polys are, it's kind of hard to describe. Imagine every curve is a whole bunch of tiny little flat surfaces. That's why if you see something round, it has, well, here I can show you. We don't care. Now, too bad. You're going to see it anyway. Can I see it here? Yes, you see how gradual this curve is on this fender? Look at that, they even put in the welds, and it even looks like there's welds in there. Neat. But if you go to, let's see, I'll just run over here for a second. Now I'm going to show you the hydraulic hoses, and they're going to look a little bit funny, and this is what I mean. You see how instead of a circle, it's you see a flat edge. Here's the corner, one flat edge right here under my cursor. Whoops. And then there's a straight spot over to this corner, and a straight spot over in this corner, and the same. And so it looks like there's a whole bunch of, it's not really a circle, it's more of a whole bunch of flats that slowly work their way around in a circle. So the fewer those flats, that's a poly, I guess. So the more rounded you make it look, like for instance, they could double the poly count on that by making those little straight lines half as long. So that's what I'm yakking about when I talk about polys. And if maybe you've wondered that before, and maybe I even just educated you a little bit, wouldn't that be something? You actually learn something on a game. I mean, it's pretty useless, but useless information unless you're actually doing this stuff, but that gives you an idea of why. For instance, on Farming Simulator, I've noticed a lot of the John Deere mods, the tractor mods, they're always, I shouldn't say always, they're often laggy, and it's just because the level of detail is great, except, you know, there's so many polys, and those polys, each one, you know, it takes up a little bit of video card resources to run it. So the higher the poly count, the lower your FPS. And honestly, my computer's a little bit old too. I'm actually going to be upgrading it this fall at some point. So those polys, what in the world is going on here? Why am I not scooping that? Look at that. Come on, dig that, dig, 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 dig. Talking instead of digging. Yeah, so I'll get a better video card. It's not going to make a difference in this game, honestly. I'm hoping the next patch will be optimized. I did read that that they were working on that. I don't know if it's coming out in this patch or not, but the optimization would be good. So they clean it up, and maybe the frames per second will go a little better. Would be a little bit higher would be good. All in all, the game, I really like it. I'm glad I don't feel like I wasted my money on a broken game or anything like that. It's a bit quirky. There are some problems, but you know, it's a small team and they're working on it. So what can you do, right? Just don't ask them about multiplayer. That's all. Because they've heard about it so many times. They're like, you're not allowed to talk about it anymore, basically, on their Discord. Because it's just been done to death. No, there are no plans for multiplayer. When I purchased the game, I thought there were. So I might not have even purchased the game if I'd realized it was never going to be multiplayer. But oh well, I'm glad now that I did. I've put a lot of hours in this game. So definitely get my money's worth. Come on up that hill. Oh, wish the wash plant was a little bit lower down. It's just such a huge hill to climb with this thing. The dump truck, I think, will be similar. The difference being that, because it's articulated as well, and it looks like the wheels are about the same size, so it's probably going to be gutless as well. But that just means I'll go back over here a little bit more, where it's not quite as steep when I come up with the dump truck. It doesn't help me very much right now because I'm digging really close to the wash plant. But all right, I'm digging all this out too. You know what? I should just dig this direction. My gosh, why didn't I think of that before? Because I'm yakking and not thinking. Oh well. Yeah, get this. Come on, get up that hill. Now, if you have any questions about the game, like why don't I do this way, or why don't I do that, or what's that for? How do you do that? Go ahead and ask me. Chances are, if I don't know, I'll find out for you. So if you're playing the game and you're having trouble with some part, or you're watching the series and you're wondering why I do things the way I do, just post it in the comments. I like answering questions. Yep, man, why do you sound so funny? I'm Canadian, that's why. Canadian accent. Oops, is that starting to smear? Yep. When I say smear, it's obvious to me. Hopefully it's obvious to you. You'll see once the bucket is full, it starts just kind of blobbing the dirt along. That's how the bulldozer works. It'll push the dirt along like that. Really like that bulldozer. If only I had the money. If only I had, this is a lot like real life. There's so many things that I'd like to get that would make this so much easier. Just can't afford it. Got the drill instead. I'm glad I did. Actually, at this point, I'm glad I did because I'm going to focus on all these orange parts first. And I did it again. I need to actually start coming down from this direction. And then I can just kind of spread out once I've got a kind of a flat plateau here. So I need to try and flatten this out right here. Because I'm taking all this corner anyway, I may as well smooth it out and make a road, right? Come on, get up there. Alright, starting to smear, and back we go, up the hill again. But as you can see, if that's a flat road right there, I'll be moving right along by the time I hit this hill. And even that looks like it was faster to get up the hill. Now, if only this thing would turn a little sharper. Oh, gonna make it around this corner? Yep. Alright, so I think I've babbled long enough for today. I'll give you a break from it, and this episode should be up on Sunday, so we'll see. We'll see. I might have another episode tomorrow. Now that I'm kind of back and running again, I'm not waiting on anything such as waiting to show you, like last time I had to go a few days waiting to hear some feedback on the mining drill, I think it was. So if I'm waiting for feedback, it does slow the episodes down. And also, if all I'm doing is what you're seeing me doing here, I don't know, I suppose I could record it, and then it's up to you whether or not you want to see it. But as far as recording this as raw footage and then just speeding it up, I'm not really interested in doing that. It eats up a lot of time for editing. It eats up a lot of resources for disk space, and that's one of the reasons I'm looking to upgrade, is I'm filling up my hard drives here with videos. I've been deleting them, but as I had the size of the games is getting bigger, so every time I get a new game, it's taking that much more space. This one was pretty small. That was good. I've been playing Shadowrun's Returns. I've been playing that a bit. Got that one for free. I was planning to buy it, and then they offered it for free on, was that Humble? Or maybe it was just on Steam. I can't remember which, but I had it on my wish list. I had been planning to buy it on that sale, the Steam sale, and then I got it for free, so it was like, bonus! But that game's pretty fun. It's a role-playing game. I don't usually play many of those, but it's turn-based combat, just like, say, XCOM and a bunch of the other games like that. So I've been playing a little bit of that. Ooh, whoops, made a little bit of a mess there. But I don't think I'll make a video on it. I think it would be kind of... It would take a long time, just because you can't really skip bits, because all of it's a story, and if you skip parts of the story, then it gets kind of boring. Well, it gets kind of disjointed then. The whole point is to be immersed. That's the whole point of an RPG, isn't it? You can't roleplay if it's not realistic, or not immersive. Anyway, I think that's about it for me for babbling today, and thank you so much for watching, and click like if you enjoyed what you saw today. And again, if you have questions or comments, put them in the comments. I like responding to them, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.